Hello everyone, Blaster here again, bringing you another video that I hope that you find rather interesting. Today's video is just going to be one of those local reports videos where I essentially talk to you in an unscripted manner. I'm just telling you how I felt about my deck, my particular build, how well it performed or how bad it performed, or like if there was something else that I wanted to play or something else that I wished was different and such, right? And what happened this week is that Infinite Forbidden has released, or at least the sneak peek event happened, and it was let me tell you what, my friends opened like 5 or 6 boxes of that new booster pack, and they only got like one Fiendsmith out of all those boxes. So yeah, the chances are that that card is short printed and it's going to be hella expensive. So if you wish that you could like play that deck, well, good luck. I feel like it's going to be even more expensive than the current, like, more expensive than Snake Eyes is currently is. So yeah. So what happened? How did I felt the deck was performing? And gonna be honest, I still think the deck is fine. I still think this is as good as it's going to get for heroes. Uh, some things changed, and sadly, I did not perform well this week. But I honestly, I don't think it's because, let's say, this just because this is a bad build, right? This I genuinely believe that this is a really good build. Honestly, I've been drawing really good hands with this. um, I gotta say maybe like 80 to 90% of the hands that I play are that 80 to 90% of the hands that I draw are playable, or even they're like extremely good to just like do the full combo and maybe play through some hand traps, through some disruption and such, right? And actually, if you saw the previous video, one of the newer inclusions in the deck was Book of Eclipse, which honestly, I really like this card. I genuinely think that if you're playing heroes, you should be playing this card. It's really good. Uh, I mean, I've uploaded a new match exhibition match video, and even though I didn't got to like showcase the card, I got to play other friendlies like Labyrinth and what else? And last week I got to play against like Purely, and this card was extremely good. And against Labyrinth also came clutch because it was a way to prevent the lady from activating. I mean, it was like a chain blocking the direct response to a trap, and also by setting the monsters, you just prevented them from doing additional stuff like setting more traps and such. So yeah, this card is really good. Not only that, it's also really good like if your opponent is trying to hand trap you, and like say your normal summon like Stratos or even Blazeman, and they're trying to stop that normal summon, you can like just Book of Eclipse, flip it down, and just continue your combo. Uh, and also just a really good piece of disruption if you happen to be like Dark Ruler no more, which actually happened a lot on the exhibition match. I actually wish that I had this card in my hand for that reason. So yeah, honestly, extremely good card. You should play it. Like it's just as I feel like it's just as good as uh, Forbidden Droplet. I always want to draw either one of these cards in my opening hand. Like honestly, just do that. It's really good, extremely good. I highly recommend you play those cards. So yeah, also one of the things that changed is that I decided to play. Uh, I went back to free mask change, and the reason for this is that after like having some heavy testing during this weekend, I just essentially realized that whenever you open like the two card combos, essentially, you know, the any two card combinations that makes you like the full combo, let's say Ferris plus Stratos, you know that you can end on Darklo with this or like Plasma, but if you happen to draw like the mass change for this, um, use because malicious is now a free copies. It's just like this builds the best board that you can get in Heroes. Like this hand will get you like Plasma, TPE, and Darklow as with the favorite contact setup. Like is literally the best board that you can build in Heroes, and because that is like such a strong board, you always want to open the mass change so you can uh, push and just make the best possible board that you can, and because you open the mass change, you don't have to use shadow mist effect to like search the mass change. Just use it to search like Plasma or like another combo piece, so you don't have to waste um, bodies on the field just to like search for other cards, and you just end up summoning like just your end board. Your end board is essentially a Plasma, uh, Darklo, TPE with the Wonder Driver there, and the favorite contact setup. It's just a really strong board, like, and plus any additional non-engine that you would be drawing, right? So yeah, any combination that lets you get into Plasma uh, is essentially like full combo. Plus, like the mass change, you can end on the Darklo. Also, one of the things that changed is that I decided to cut one Ian Shuffle, and I decided to add one additional Elemental Hero Blazeman into the mix. And I know that this is going to be kind of like weird to some, uh, essentially because I'm just playing another normal summon, like more additional normal summons. But honestly, I just really like Blazeman in this deck. I feel like it's just one of the best normal summons in this deck. Like I still genuinely believe that, and I don't know. Like if you want to see it like this way, I mean you know that uh, having like any combination of these three cards is essentially full combo, right? Because like let's say you open like this is full combo, right? But if you open like this, it's also full combo. And if you open like this, it's also full combo. But let's say if you open like this is also full combo. And if you open like this, it's essentially combo. This is essentially the Ferris plus a hero setup, right? I mean, obviously it's not as strong as opening like Ferris plus Malicious, but this is still like your combo. And And you don't, and essentially what I'm trying to tell you is like you do really do not lose anything from for having this in your hand. In fact, it's quite the contrary. It opens you more options for you to play, and and I just really like it because, like I said, every time that you combine it with cards like Ian Shuffle, it also makes your combo stronger. But I decided to cut it to two because there were times where I was drawing like multiples of this card, and honestly, opening multiples of this is not good. And also there were times where like maybe I didn't draw into an elemental hero that I wanted to summon to use the end shuffle with. So because of those, let's say those incidents, I just decided to cut it to two. I don't want it to cut it to one because I feel like by that time you're not seeing it as much as you want, and but it's still a really good card. Just I want it in my hand, but I don't want to draw into it all the time. So yeah. And also, one of the things that I had to cut one triple tactic talents in order to like make room for stuff. This is still like the 51 card count. So yeah, and I know a lot of people, like even if you watch the exhibition match that I uploaded recently. I mean, if you speak Spanish, you know that the guy that I was playing with asked me like how many card count was and why so many cards, and I told you like um, I was playing it to be a more consistent deck, but he was like, man, but I if the thing is that you have to run like the least amount of cards so you can look into your cards, right? So how is this more like consistent? Like it was like, I wasn't going to like explain the whole stuff to him, right? Just I essentially told him, trust me, bro. I mean, I've been testing this deck and I really like the consistency of this deck. So yeah. And also one of the things that changed that I relapsed again because I was playing the mass change to 3 again, and I just didn't want to like uh, open Blazeman and not opening say like the Book of Eclipse or like the Ian Shuffle, and if I got disrupted, I didn't want. I mean, if I got to like disrupted by a effect Baylor or like infinite impermanence, I didn't want to lose to those cards, so I decided to play this piece of garbage again to play it alongside Mass Change. Although I gotta be honest, it didn't come up, so maybe I'm just being too paranoid. Maybe I shouldn't be playing these cards just because I'm afraid that maybe some players are going to be like React Andes and just negate the first thing that they see. So yeah, maybe I'm gonna go back to, let's say, play the uh, the Dread Decimator. So yeah, that's essentially like in big part what changed in the main deck. But in the side, I felt like there was a lot of changes, and the main change that happened here is that I'm now playing 3 crossout designators, and this is going to be an important part of a new video that I'm about to release soon, because if you guys have seen the news around the game, there there is going to be a new hand trap, a new mold charmy Fuwaros, if I'm not mistaken, mold charmy Fuwaros, which is essentially Maxi, the real retrained version of Maxi, which is going to hit this deck pretty hard because a lot of our summons come from the main deck and the extra deck. So yeah, because say malicious special summons from the deck, um, uh, increase special summons from the deck, hero lives special summons from the deck, even Ian Shuffle special summons from the deck, and all the important pieces of this deck also come from the extract. So that means essentially like every time that you're special summoning something, you're gonna give your opponent one draw. So it's going to be really harsh, but essentially what you want to do is that you'll have to play the card yourself, although I don't think you should be playing it at free copies, and nor that you should like rely on that card. And I'll just um, explain that further down in the new video that I'm going to upload later. But you, like if you want a just resume a resume of that video is going to be essentially you're gonna be playing free Crosso Designator and free Ash Blossoms, just like in Master Duel, because you just want to stop that draw engine. But for the moment, I'm just playing it because I'm just playing the Crosso Designator because I'm now playing Draw and Lockbird in my side deck. And if you saw also the exhibition match from the last week, Draw and Lockbird was a big part of why I lost that matchup. And I just wanted a consistent way to just deal with that card, and I, after some heavy testing, one of the best ways to stop the Draw and Lockbird is just playing Crosso Designator. I know that also one of the ways that you could stop the Draw and Lockbird is if you, let's say you get to summon a dark monster, and before you get to add something, you use a mask change to like summon the Darklo, and now your opponent cannot like send the Draw and Lockbird into the graveyard, so you can like so you can combo without worrying about this card. But like, I mean, if you, realistically speaking, that is not going to happen every single game. And what you just want is a way to consistently stop the card. So this is one additional way to stop that card. So yeah, at least on the deck building part, this is going to be it. So what happened over the locals is that sadly I didn't perform too well over these weeks, but honestly I do not think that the bad performance has come from like the deck building part, or at least not yet. There have been some games where like I lost, but I lost because like I opened say like Neos and like the increase alongside some subpar cards that didn't help my case of doing anything, right? Maybe like opening like the Denier and I don't know, maybe the Liquid Soldier and such. It was an extremely poor hand. But then again, I don't think those kind of hands is a result of like playing 51 cards, because these kind of hands could happen in the 40 card version, or it could happen in a 60 card version. Like there's just no escaping the bricks eventually. Like doesn't matter how much consistency cards you run, or it doesn't matter how like you build your deck in, or in what way you build your deck. It's just you're going to break eventually. But at least what I want to say, like, this is the version that has offered me the least amount of bricks. I really stand by that. I really like this version because of that. Um, but then again, I don't think the bad performance of these previous weeks are like a result of the build. Is rather that I've been messing up on some games because I haven't like. I mean, I do not know every single matchup, right? Haven't like practiced every single matchup. So then again, like, if, for example, I haven't played against like Flounder before, really. So a lot of the effects for me were new. Some of the interactions are new. Um, so like I just paying like the noob mistakes, right? The newbie mistakes, and I just felt like um, I could have done better if I just maybe knew the matchup better. But then again, this is a part. This is part of growing as a player, right? It's important to understand why you lost, right? So you can improve upon those mistakes and go further beyond. And this is why what I intend to do. Actually, I'm liking the uploads that I'm doing recently because I actually watch my content and I do it on repeat. So sometimes even I learn things by hearing me like um, rumble about some of the things and say like, you know what, I actually like I was right about this. So I'm gonna be focusing on this. And sometimes I would be like, man, I was so wrong about this, but now that I know that I was wrong, maybe there are some things that I might change so I can improve, right? So yeah. I then again, I don't want to make this video longer than it should be. Maybe it's already too long. I haven't watched the timestamp, so I think this is going to be it. Just reminding you guys that if you like the content that you see, please like, share, and subscribe. But if you're not doing any of that, at the absolute least, please leave me a comment because I always love reading your feedback. And also, just tell me if you guys like these kind of videos where I I just have the cards with me like physically, because I don't know, like, because I've been trying the new format with like the dueling book interface. I did that because I wanted to like um see if like it was a better way to show things, like it was maybe a cleaner way to show things. But I don't know, maybe you guys like this kind of approach more because you guys want to see like the physical cards and how I play them, or you guys really like the way of dueling book where a lot of things are automated and I'm not losing time like maybe searching into cards or like just trying to do everything manual. Just give me your feedback, right? Just tell me if you guys like the new version or like this version, right? And this is going to be this is Buster signing out, and I hope you guys have a nice week.